Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the Overwatch League off-season recap. This is number 31 of this series. And apologies that I didn't do one last Sunday. Well, I'm uploading on Monday, so last Monday I guess. That's just because I got home, um, so I just want to take a break. I just want to just relax a bit. And and I think there was only like one roster change, so I didn't want to just dedicate a whole video into one roster change. But luckily now, there's been a lot more changes, which has now come up in the past couple weeks, which is amazing. So as you can also tell on screen, um, the thing that I normally use for Overwatch for this video of the table to show all of the roster changes, that's kind of having a bit of issue in Wikipedia. It's also the same for the off season as well. It's basically um, there's no value in the in line 131. So if I just click on this, it just shows me. You're like, oh look, there's no value and everything. Like, okay. So they probably need to fix that in the script. That'll be absolutely wonderful, so then I can keep using this. But for now, hopefully, for only for this video, I'll just use um, the normal transfer one, which had lists all the, I guess like all the roster changes in Overwatch esports. So in the last video, we ended up with Victoria, as he was promoted to the Boston Uprising. Let's now start off with Coldest, who has joined the LA Valiant as their flex support. It's a really good pickup. I quite like it. It also looks like that the roster looks really good now, a lot better than this this roster. Even though my landman was decent, possibly the best possibly the best player in the team. Still doesn't matter how terrible they were. So I think they will be still staying in China in the APAC region. Obviously, as you can tell, with DA Innovation backing Coldest in the lineup. So that's a pretty good pickup for Valiant, and also a good way also to you know to continue their trajectory. I don't know who else is going to be signed other than like one other player. I think there's stuff by Wuyo maybe being the player coach, being the player and the coach, just kind of how like Jake was in Mangatru. But yeah, we'll just see if that's the case. So that's Valiant all done. Let's now move on to the Chengdu Hunters. Um, some coaching changes here. RUI, RUI, there we go. He obviously now the former Chengdu Hunters head coach. He's now moved over to an honorary advisor. This is just due to because I think he's getting married and he wants to spend time with his family, which clearly makes sense. But we still be with the Chengdu Hunters just as a honorary advisor, so just kind of just a lesser role in the team. But he's still technically part of of that team. They now have a total of 3 assistant coaches, with J Phil joining the coaching lineup. Now, I was not expecting J Phil to join the Chengdu Hunters. I thought that he'll probably maybe join maybe Hangzhou, um, maybe even New York, even though they'll be going to the NA region, not and yeah. So it's interesting, to say the least, because they normally have a full Chinese coaching roster, and they're going to be now having their first ever Korean coach into the team, so that'll be interesting to watch. But it's also a great pickup as well because J-Phil, I feel like he's kind of went under the radar. He was part of the Shanghai Dragons Season 4 roster. He was also part of the Atlanta Spitfire roster as well. So yeah, I don't know why he's been kicked out of like all these teams. Maybe he's just looking for different opportunities or something. But this is a great pickup for the Chengdu Hunters, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense because I was expecting a Chinese roster, no Chinese roster, Chinese coach. But still really good. Let's now move on to the Philadelphia Fusion. They have obviously announced two players to be joining the team. One of them Aimgod and the other one Fury. Now Aimgod obviously he wasn't really meant to be in the fusion unless he was just supposed to be just a backup. Obviously after the terrible death of Alarm, he's basically he's been put a lot of pressure now, and I do hope he actually does he performs extremely well, and I feel like if he does, Alarm will be extremely happy looking down, obviously watching his team's success. So I actually do wish Aim got the best of playing well, obviously, because he has a lot of shoes to fill, and I feel like we shouldn't really be. I feel like yeah, like play like people like obviously people will be like um would be very judgmental of someone, especially Aim God who has a lot of shoes to fill after the death of Alarm. But I feel like this is unnecessary. We should give him some time to obviously to readjust into Overwatch League level because he's been playing with Team CC, and I do hope he obviously succeeds and basically gets to remind everyone of who Aim God is and why Fusion picked him up. As for Fury, he will be returning back to the Fusion after joining the Justice for a season. Um, I think that like the roster currently looks pretty good in my opinion. So they have obviously they only have like three DPS players: Carpe, M3, and Zest, and now they add a Fury and Aim God. That that looks pretty good. Expect Fusion to probably be maybe a dark horse in the APAC region. The Vancouver Titans have also done some changes as well. They've gotten Seiko, I think that's his name, Seiko, I might be wrong, and Scripper. Um, I have actually have heard of Scripper before. I've never heard of Seiko, but I have heard of Scripper. I think it was formerly from Raspberry Races, if I remember correctly, and also the London Spit, and also the British Hurricane. Was that Admiral? I think it might be Admiral. I can't remember. But I can't remember when it was it Raspberry? No, no. Okay, yeah, no, yeah. He was with British Hurricane. I knew it. So he was with British Hurricane. Before he joined the Vancouver Titans as a main support, I'm guessing. I don't really know to be honest, but yeah, he's there. Oh, so it'd be interesting, obviously, to to see how he goes in Overwatch League level. As for Seikol, I've never heard of him. He was formerly from the Falcon Esports EU roster, which has Lolsish and KSAA, who some people might know, especially KSAA and Lolsish. Backbone's also here as well, who's now with the London Spitfire. So probably guess maybe you'd like some more firepower. I don't really know. I've never seen them play to be honest, but I'm excited to see how they go for this season. And the final one, it is the NYXL finally announced the whole roster. Yaki Flora for DPS, Kellen for tank, and Gangnam GNM Youngbong for support. I quite like this. Obviously, we knew this for a pretty long time when Halo Source obviously tweeted out about it. And they finally have announced it. It's been a long time. They will be, as I mentioned earlier, they will be now moving to the NA side, so I think to the West region, which means probably like one Western team is probably going to move over to the East. I don't really know if that's going to be happening, because obviously we need balance, and we basically need balance. So. I do hope that a team actually does move over to the to the APAC region, but hopefully it's not like the Valiant where change of ownership and everything. Hopefully it's like just like a team like the I don't know, like the Washington Justice. I mean they have a full Korean roster. Um, they probably maybe have some connections there. I don't really know, but I think that'll be really good. Um, so that's all for the Overwatch League news. So I'll move on to, I guess, news that relates, well, relates to former Overwatch League pros. Morphic has announced his retirement. I think due to I think he's gonna be more focusing on schooling, so that'll be really nice. And I think there is one more. Yep, Langsa. He has left Team Chaser. Speaking of Langsa, let's now have a look at the rumors. There's rumors that he'll be joining the LA Valiant, which could be, if so, that'll be a pretty decent support duo. Molly is rumored to be joining the Guangzhou Charge, and Ezhan is rumored to be joining the Houston Outlaws as a DPS player. If that is true about Ezhan joining the Houston Outlaws, it definitely looks like they're turning away from the from like Western players, and they could be going full on Korean. I mean, this roster looks pretty decent either way. Dante Pelican as the DPS duo, that's really good, but even though I feel like Dante's probably gonna be replaced by Ezhan. Jake gets the flex. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be staying with the team. I'll be honest. Iris last year as the support duo, that's really good. And then Piggy as the tank, also really good. He performed he performed extremely well um, last season. So Outlaws may be a dark horse maybe for the West and for the NA region. But yeah, that's really about it for today's video. Drop a like and comment, subscribe as well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.